Too true. Too true.
And journal entry. This week has just been one of those weeks. Nothing went smoothly. The crew and I acted as if it was our first cruise together. Station staff went out of the way to impress upon me their devious intentions. It's like the first couple of chapters in a novel. The good guys and bad guys have been introduced. We've set up some action and a conflict. Now I have this terrible feeling it's time for a cliffhanger. Enter.
Lambda station is about ready, sir. I thought you'd want to be on the bridge.
Of course, I'll be there in a moment.
If I'm not prying, who's that?
Never introduced you to my fiancé? Guess I never will. Oh well, doesn't matter anyway. We're probably all about to die horribly, our atoms scattered at near light speed across the Paradisio system and far beyond.
And you thought I had a way with imagery?
It's a gift. Well, I guess we have just enough time while we head to the bridge to reflect on how we got into this situation.
Would you please stop that, Katrina? I know you're new here and bored, but you're making me space sick.
What else am I supposed to do? We just sit out here for weeks, picking up all their little test probes and storing them away in the cargo bay. Aren't they about done testing this inversion thing anyway?
We need that camera probe back where it belongs.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you appreciate the importance of this mission.
You're right. I was hoping to avoid getting too involved in this plot. What's the big deal anyway?
I've explained this a couple times to you already. Look at your tactical display. The drive works by exchanging the matter of the ship for energy and the energy of the ship for matter.
Interesting.
The matter that they create is just a tiny matter converter module with enough computer memory to store a digitized version of the ship. When the mini-ship, called the doppelganger, reaches its destination, it reverses the process.
Yeah, so...
Because of the exchange of energy, the doppelganger is able to travel at nearly the speed of light.
Impressive.
Exactly. No more long years of acceleration to get a reasonable speed like our ancestors had.
Incoming transmission. I'll put it on.
Mirage, say status.
Mirage is ready and in position. All status indicators show green.
Sir, Cargo Bay 8 shows a warning indicator.
Shh. Ready when you are, Lambda Station.
Sir.
The captain is inspecting the cargo bay. Don't worry about it. Captain, Lambda Station is finally ready. They'll continue from the T-minus 2 minute mark as soon as our all's clear message reaches them. Estimate 15 minutes to test probe arrival.
About time those lab rats got their acting gear. I'll finish up down here and be up to the bridge shortly.
So, what are all these parts for, anyway?
They're the last few parts for our new planetary shuttle.
Our job is to ferry cargo from station to station. What do we need with a shuttle?
Nothing. But it's always nice to have one, don't you think?
Right as always, Captain. Like the brandy from Gamma Station and the Simpson
Hey,
from
hey,
Delta.
hey, don't get me thinking you know too much. You just might become expendable.
Stop! I might have trouble sleeping.
Alright, box this back up and put it behind those other boxes marked Boots Men's Mark IV size 8.
And just what is in those other boxes?
Let's just say, it's a surprise.
Barrage show's ready, sir.
Resume the countdown.
Resuming countdown at T-minus 2 minutes.
I trust this will be the last test necessary before we move on.
Well, I don't know.
I've been talking to your assistant. What was his name again?
Jenkins, sir.
Right, Dr. Jenkins. And he assures me that he's ready to oversee the advancement of this project to Phase 2 immediately.
That won't be necessary. I'm prepared to take us into Phase 2.
I was sure you would be.
Report?
Estimate probe arrival in 1.5 minutes.
Very good. Ensign Watson, keep a close eye on those navigational sensors. If those guys have their aim a little off, I'd like to know so we can dodge.
Yes, sir.
That probe is moving at nearly light speed. We won't even realize it's there before we're dead. If it's coming at us, of course.
Humor me.
Radio indicates the test has started. The probe should be about 30 seconds behind that message.
Outer camera probes, register test probe on track. Onboard thermal sensors detecting extremely high temperature object approaching test range. Test probe has arrived. I'm getting good telemetry from the vehicle.
Is it safe to approach?
All sensors and diagnostics show green. Looks like it went perfectly.
Match course and speed. I'll have Paul operate the tow field and haul it on board. Looks like it came through in one piece.
Hey, that it did, amazingly enough. Not even a scratch on it.
Feels like it just came out of the factory. Did you hear that?
That depends entirely on what you intend to do about it.
There's an access panel here. Can you open it?
In that case, Captain, no, I didn't hear a thing.
Just open it.
All you had to do was ask. Let's see, it looks like we have a standard SD34 combination lock on here. I think my pocket comp could convince it to open. There, that's got it.
There's a cat in here.
A cat?
Ooh. Friendly little critter. I guess they wanted to verify the drive would work with living creatures.
Well, it seems to have survived having its atoms digitized, energized, and reconstituted. That's something I'd like to do if you ask me.
Are you sure you're not a doctor?
Barrage reports test successful and probe recovered.
Very good. Have them return for debriefing immediately. When they return, notify me, and then get to work on their ship immediately.
Yes, sir, Director Murrow.
Great shards of Earth. No sooner do we get back than we're called into a formal debriefing.
I, for one, was looking forward to some shore leave.
Not with that slave driver Murrow taking a close personal interest in this project. He's constantly breathing down the necks of those poor project engineers.
Well, it looks like it's our turn to be breathed on for a while.
You have such a way with imagery, Commander Fields.
What can I say? It's a gift.
Pity we can't return it.
There's the room. Deck 8, room 27B.
Well, let's get this over with.
Ah, Captain Vanderdecken and our officers. You know Dr. Jenkins, Captain Wist, Commander Kyle, Dr. Beffrin. Please be seated. Doctor, you may proceed.
With the return of the Mirage and her test data, Phase 1 is now complete. Of course, there are several months of data analysis to be performed.
Doctor?
But the results were so overwhelmingly positive that we can begin Phase 2 immediately.
Phase 2?
Phase 2 involves examining the feasibility of sentience utilizing the inversion drive technology. As you can see from this chart, there are several steps involved. Step 1 modifies the drive using multi-dimensional memory modules in the doppelganger part of this process.
Multi what?
Later.
Does he always talk like that?
The MDM devices are necessary to store the huge amount of information involved in digitizing sentience, or a ship full of sentience. Step 2 is to mount the drive onto a test ship, and Step 3, of course, is to test the drive.
Let me get this straight. You tested the drive with one small cat, and now you want to move on to 400 plus people.
A cat?
Isn't that what he just said?
And just who gets this honor?
Captain Vanderdeck, after some careful planning and a complete review of the service records of the candidates, the Mirage has been chosen as the test bed for Phase 2.
And Captain Whist?
We're your backup test ship and your chase ship. You'll get all the glory, but I'll be right behind you all the way.
Congratulations, Captain Vanderdecken. Dr. Beckford and the staff has already started on the modifications to the Mirage. Your crew is granted shore leave for 5 days while they're working. Dismissed.
What an honor. We'll be famous.
We'll be dead.
What?
It's a suicide mission. These new gadgets never work right the first couple of times.
Then why did you agree?
That comment Moreau made about my complete record. Well, let's just say he's got some dirt on me that ruined me completely. Not just professionally.
But what about the rest of the Mirage crew?
Oh, they'll be famous.
So they've never actually tried this thing on people before?
Don't worry, the new MDM module should be able to handle it.
You were going to explain what those are.
Okay, MDM stands for multi-dimensional memory. And to start with, you know there's a limit to how much you can store in the normal 3 dimensions.
Right. You can only store so much on one disk. You get more disks. You can only store so much in 3 dimensions. You get some more dimensions.
Exactly. The devil was in the details, though. It took them a long time, first of all, to find dimensions they could use, and then useful ways of accessing those dimensions.
And they've done it?
They seem to think so. My friend at Delta Station loaned me this new pocket comp.
Does it really work?
Seems to. Sucker's got twice the memory capacity of the Mirage's main computer. I've backed up the entire core on this single MDM memory disk.
The complete core?
Well, yes.
Don't you think that's a little dangerous? There's enough information on there to frighten a lot of us if it fell into the wrong hands.
I didn't think of that.
Nevertheless, that's very, inventive of you. I'll just take care of that for safety's sake. You never know when we'll have to do a manual core restoration in the field.
Hey, it was that bastard Whist.
He seemed pretty nice.
One of Murrow's toadies. One of the better ones at that.
Murrow has this problem. He can't seem to get help that's both trustworthy and competent.
And which one is Whist?
Trustworthy.
And us.
Competent.
I think we all had a bit much at the bar that night.
Well, it's not every time you can throw a 5-day, it's the end of the ship as we know it, and I feel fine party.
First one for me, too. We should have them more often.
I think once is probably enough, and all we're likely to get.
I suppose you're right.
Well, now I remember all too clearly how we got here. Let's get on with this cliffhanger so I can have some aspirin. Mirage to Lambda Station. Our board reads completely green. We're ready here.
Lambda station is ready. Hold for range verification.
Test range is clear. Chase ship in position.
This is the captain speaking. I know there are 435 of you on board, many of whom have not had any camera time yet. But with a lot of hard work from you and a lot of dumb luck, I'm sure we'll pull through. Captain out.
The station signals that we can engage the drive at our discretion.
Let's do it with some style.
We'll show those bastards.
Engage inversion drive.
What happened?
Chase ship, report.
Negative contact.
They're gone.
Next week on Space Rogues T.S.E. Is the Mirage still in one piece, stranded deep in space and in trouble? Is Murrow's new ship a rescue ship or an assassin? Find out next week in an all-new episode of Space Rogues T.S.E.